If you are serious about the price of XRP, then charts like this, the medium term or medium to long term chart for XRP, makes a lot of sense for you. And when it is combined with a macro chart going last 3, 4, 5 years, understanding what it's doing, it gives you clarity. Yeah, obviously, you take it against Bitcoin and see, is that possible? Can we do a 20, 30x from here? Is that a possibility? If you want to compare that, you actually go into Ether and you're comparing XRP against it. When you get to see the results in dollar terms are almost close from all of these analyses, there's only one factor left. That's the entire market. That's why we always take you through the Bitcoin. We always take you through the Ether, giving you the right perspective. Because the market shows you money is pouring in 50 million, 50 million, 100 million. The money is actually slowly entering the market for some reason. They understand something better than the retail. Welcome to the scientific investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. We're going to break these charts down simple, easy. You get to understand what's happening, what has happened in the past, and what the most nearest future may look like based on all these historical points. But before that, smash the like button for me if you think you are getting value out of this video. So let's continue. You're taking a short-term chart. We see, okay, we are making a medium-term structure here, a pattern, which faked out to the downside. Most likely, you're going to break to the upside after a fake to the downside. Fine, let's keep that aside. Let's look at a longer horizon, last 4 years. You have a trend line above which you make a support, below which you've been consistently faking out. And once you do that, the price goes up. Every time where you have got these, you're like, okay, the price is going up. This is the only time where you're getting a candle close kind of a fake out, which is strong fake out. Can the results be a strong burst to the upside? That's where the question comes in. The question of if we are breaking higher, how much should be the measured move? On dollar terms, it gives you a close narrative of 20x. But remember, this is where you are trying to connect all the way back. But when you actually come back to look at the market cycle from 2019, 2020 drop, now you get to see that the measured move is much bigger. But let's stay conservative. We're talking about this range. We are trying to connect as much touches on the lines as possible to make sure that's the trend line with the highest odds. Fine. At that point, you're saying, okay, micro, you do have these points. You're bouncing from that. On a macro, you do have a resistance. You're trying to get to that. But this trend line, which is the micro to medium term, is slowing you down. That's where you go on to the Bitcoin side of the equation. XRP against Bitcoin. How many times in the history have we seen getting a reversal from the support, which is a bullish signal, and again, that being a bullish engulfing candle, showing you that was the start of something big. That was the start of something big. So we have seen, historically speaking, we get something. What are you observing on a monthly XRP to Bitcoin chart? It kind of gives you a clear idea. At least it's going to come up to test this trend. Fine, that will still be positive for the XRP price in USD terms. Say you take it against Ether. Now we are comparing the history of XRP to Ether price action. Now you're watching, you are in a macro, which is from last 3-4 years you're looking at, and you're saying, yeah, we're in a falling wedge. That breaks to the upside. So at some point, XRP is about to overrun Ether, and we all believe that strongly. But we need to see a breakout here at this point. And that's going to be really important because this particular region, it's currently getting rejected. That means you're making a lower high. That means the breakout is not now. You may come down and then start going up. So for that to happen, Ether should be running higher. Because we all understand the fact that XRP price is not dropping. 0.5 is kind of that range where you are like concrete. It's not dropping below. That means if Ether price has to increase against XRP, that means you need to see a drop. That can be this leg here. Ether runs up, it's fine. Understand the narrative. The price below the moving average, right now the touch has been 23.5. Bear market bottom was 24.6. So that was after a ton of panic. And this is just news and the new level of panic which we have seen because people entered at the all-time highs for this cycle. Close to maybe 73, 75, where we were saying we are moving out or shorting the market. Now you look at the total drop. It's been 24, 23, 21, and now 32.95. Say 32. If you go back in the cycle, you get to see, yeah, a 22, a 20, a 30. This was the common routine. We used to see these kind of price drops every now and then. It's not just in the most recent cycle, it's also in the historical cycle. Wherever you go, you kind of get to see these 30, 35, 40, 30. Market has shown opportunities come through these volatilities. That's where you kind of go in and see, okay, fine. Are we making something similar? You take on a macro chart, it's still in the bull flag mode. It's not changing its direction. You zoom in, the Bitcoin weekly shows you it is trying to come back up to retest 64.5 towards 65. That's a key range to consider because this pattern is still valid even at that point. Bitcoin chart argues this clearly, that any bounce towards 65 can be the test of this range, which is the moving average. And a break of that is going to lead you to the all-time highs range. Fine. Does Ether support this with its price action? The weekly close is coming. There was a comedy. I actually woke up a little bit earlier today, maybe 3, and I was thinking, okay, this is a Monday morning, weekly close is about to come in, and I was looking through the charts. I was confused. After the one-on-one sessions, I slept around 11:30, 12, and woke up by 3, and I'm like, I need a bit more sleep. So next time, I'm going to take 4. Anyway, that's something different. We'll come back to the charts. If you do look at this, the long wick to the downside touched the long-term trend line support, which was there from 2022. Now, the price came above the trend line, which was a resistance back then, now turning into a support. And this is Ether, which is actually a good thing to watch. Now, on that trend line support, Ether is forming an inverted hammer, which kind of gives you reversal signal. That's a reversal candle. So this range is showing it's becoming a buy zone on a weekly. Now you go zoom in on a 3-day, it says, weekly chart says I'm going to go back up, but 3-day says there can be a chop. The chop means you'll have to go further zoom in on a daily. And the daily is like, yeah, it's all comparatively fine. In few weeks time, we'd be going higher. But for now, I'm slowing you down. And this can be that scenario. Coming back down to 2300, it's all cool. You're not breaking to the downside. You're still in the range. But while you drop, people forget the fact the market looks like this. This is government institutions entering into crypto indirectly. They all understand the fact that this market is going higher. They all understand the fact that there is a lot happening in this market. When giants like this is entering into crypto and they're doubling down on crypto, others would actually ask, okay, what are we really looking at? Should we actually remove some of our gains from the stock market, which is hitting all-time highs, and move into crypto? Why wouldn't that be the case? Because when you do look at traditional markets, say gold, you're going up. Instead of continuing to the downside, gold got a push to the upside because the talk about the CPI, it didn't actually push dollar to the upside. Rather, it pushed the dollar to the downside. It's now slowly trying to break that long-term trend line. Again, that's from 2023. So if you do break this to the downside, what would be the measured move? Say you have a micro, which shows you a 2.4% move to the downside. You have a macro, which argues it can be up to 6.5%. You put that into perspective, that means you're talking about 95. Does that range sound similar? You'll have to go on to a macro chart for sure, but then you're asking the question, okay, we'll actually keep this simple. I would like to see what that means. Fine. You just plot a trend line like this. You're watching where we are coming. That looks like it's possible. Now, when was the last time dollar dropped like this? A continuation pattern, a drop, a continuation, a drop to that macro level of support. That's exactly where crypto market rallied. If you look at this, that makes a lot of sense. It kind of gives you the right perspective at the right time. So dollar coming lower like this, consolidating here and then coming down here, it's going to make a lot of sense. Now, on the currency side of things, you'll have to see some of these other currencies are junk or the zombie currencies. They'll be still dropping against dollar even though dollar itself is dropping. So while the dollar is dropping and crypto rides higher, gold rides higher, what do you think is going to happen while the economy is still like this? More money is going to flow into crypto, into gold, into silver, which is right now showing you a parabolic sign. Historically speaking, this is what you're looking at. A bull flag, a breakout, and silver. So if you have 6, 12, 18, 24 months, silver is going to be at a much higher price point. We all understand that. Now, if you still have a doubt that XRP is about to go higher or it can even break this pattern to the upside, now, yeah, you're literally trading the market on a micro because you don't trust the macro. What are you looking at right now? You're still inside this micro pattern, which in itself is arguing the perspective of, I'm trying this trend line. I have not decided to break higher, but I'm slowly trying to make this. Did we talk about this micro scenario? We did. That is one of the reasons why I say SI family in here goes through every single thing. And whatever I see as the highest odd scenario for a lot of different crypto assets, it's being posted in here. If you want to join 1,200 plus members to get into that, to do a one-on-one session to balance your portfolio, to make sure your ROI target is not at the sky, but based on your portfolio that's attainable, use the link in the description below. I'll be there. I'll be waiting for you. So guys, if you received value, smash that like button for me. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.